See, it's two type of people in life.
PA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Indianapolis Colts and the New England Patriots. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. First carry for Damian Harris, the Alabama man. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Throwing Jones. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Quiddy Pay getting in there and burying him behind the line.
2 plays so far, a run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on 3rd. Work now for Jones and the Patriots here after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Julian Blackmon. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
And part of why they came to this week with a winning record is that they feed off of mistakes like this, and now it's a prime opportunity, just moments in the game to get a short field touchdown off of their big defensive play. Now on the other side, they were already the underdog in this one. They just made their uphill battle just a little bit tougher.
After the turnover, here's Herbert. And that's incomplete.
I'll give them credit winning that first snap and forcing an incompletion. They're hoping that'll deflate the offense a little bit after they took the field charged up after taking over after a turnover.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now it's Herbert. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. And this one is incomplete.
Nice job there forcing that incompletion. This is going to be a fun battle throughout this game. Watching him try to take away that area of the field.
Rodrigo Blankenship and the Colts field goal unit comes on. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. Blankenship's kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
After the made field goal, here's Blankenship again. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Pats at the line, ready to go. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Quiddy Pay. Now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back.
He's got him in, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A real letdown defensively. That was third and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. Now a first down carry for Harris. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. The Patriots at 3-5, 2 games under 500. The Charles, they were losers. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Quiddy Pay. What a start to this ball game. Still in the first quarter, and he now has 3 sacks, on pace for double digits. On third down, here's Harris. And he is going to lose yardage here. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Kenny Moore, and he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
A big play there for Indy. And even 40 yards after the big play. A chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Herbert going to keep it on the sneak. And he takes it in for a Colts score. The sneak successful from a yard out. And the Colts are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. 3-5 is where they sit on the year. A very uneven start is certainly not an ideal position to be in at the halfway point. And they get Jones for the 3rd time in this ball game. Picked up by Kenny Moore, and he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it.
And he held on to it too long. A coverage sack. Down he goes. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes and throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had...
A throw for Pittman is intercepted. It's Kyler Duggar who picks it, and the Pats are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football, because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing, maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on. and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to get them the football, but you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Herbert off of play action. That is caught by Anderson. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 10-0 the score after one on EA Sports. So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 down at the 33. Herbert now. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mack Wilson. And he returns it into enemy territory down the 45-yard line.
Well, those have been a problem for him all season, but never quite as much as they have in these last few minutes. Let's count it up now. A pair of picks on his team's last 2 drives and double-digit interceptions this season. I don't care if you're the best in the game or an undrafted rookie. You've got to take better care of the football or you're going to cost your team chances.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now here's another carry for Harris. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. Now Jones throwing on 4th down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Derwin James with a pick. And the Colts are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 37. The drive starts with a completion left side. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Here's Herbert. Looking for Campbell downfield. On Herbert, his 3rd interception. Devin McCourty picks it off. And the Patriots are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go to the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
This defense is really floating around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Now Jones. Got a man. It's Tyquan Thornton. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That one goes for 36 yards. That's evidence of why you spend a high draft pick on a receiver, isn't it, Charles?
It certainly is, his ability to make plays like that, and we've seen flashes of it from him so far in his rookie season. But also, it opens things up for the rest of the offense because they have to bring their attention to him as well.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. On 2nd and 12, Jones. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack. Work now for Jones and the Patriots here after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Jones throwing on 3rd and long. And he's going to go down again. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. The Patriots will bring on the field goal unit. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And his kick is right there. It's good. That kick, by the way, Charles, a career long.
Well, we did watch him in pregame, and he hit from this distance, so not a surprise. But there still is something exciting about it, carrying it over from practice and pregame to actually doing it in live action.
Nyheim Hines now out of his end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best of the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. It looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down in bounds. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Play action. It's Herbert. Hits his target, the tight end, Mo Alley-Cox. And they're going to get this up to midfield. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Herbert. They'll get this out to Kamara. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. On 2nd and goal, Herbert. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd. Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. They'll try to run it in. It's Kamara. And he is going to lose yardage here. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On it's the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Blankenship's kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we come to halftime here with the visiting Colts taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. Out of the end zone, here comes Hines. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled it to 20. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this third quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
On the check down, he finds Kamara.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Marcus Jones picks it. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Patriot defense has a touchdown. Extra point attempt to come here. And he puts it through to within 3. It's 13-10. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Out of the end zone, here comes Hines. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
2nd down, and it's Kamara again. And some room to work. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
Well, I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They'd done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Now this will be a return from deep in the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Pats at the line, ready to go. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Kenny Moore. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Well, let's face it, Brandon. They're down here in the second half. Want to try and make something happen. And if you're the guy with the ball in your hands, you're going to try even harder. Because I think all he was trying to do was to get outside the pocket and see if he can find a big play downfield.
On 1st and 10, Herbert. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. 25 yards that time.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago. Followed it up with another nice one here. And before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Herbert takes it and just pops it forward. They'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Back to throw here, Herbert. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Robbie Anderson with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Colts take advantage of the field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
The Patriots take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
New England with a 1st down as they begin the drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also...
He's got a man, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now flags come in. Looked like one of the Patriots might have moved. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And my goodness, another interception. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. Blankenship out for the point after. And the lead is now 24.
Makes the score Colts 34, Patriots 10. Rodrigo Blankenship to kick off for Indianapolis.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Pats at the line, ready to go. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Here's Jones on 3rd down. And that's caught by his tight end, Dalton Keene. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First target, first catch, and a first down.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Harris running straight ahead. He'll get this up to about the 44. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll run again with Harris. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now flags come in. Looked like one of the Patriots might have moved. And this offense back to needing 10 yards after the false start. 3rd and 10. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line. And that is not near enough. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. They'll try and throw for it here. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Colts are going to get the football in outstanding field position. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second-half blowout material. Rolling to his right. And he'll air this one deep for Anderson. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Robbie Anderson. His 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Colts get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. New England with a 1st down as they begin the drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason. And now here is another interception. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter, it would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them.
And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Robbie Anderson, 31 yards. And the Colts are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Pats at the line, ready to go. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Harris going to get it again on second down.
And not a whole lot to speak of there, so bring him down shy of the 20. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
He's going to look deep down the field. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Julian Blackmon.
And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line.
Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this.
A throw left side to start the drive is complete.
And he'll be marked out at about the 26-yard line.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
Here we go.
Looking to throw again on second down.
Herbert.
Oh, and the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
They snap it to Herbert. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Robbie Anderson, 26 yards.
And the Colts are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish.
Great effort by Derwin James on the stop. Another carry, same story. Fourth quarter, and he is in red numbers right now with a running game.
Hard to believe because you figure at some point you break off a run. But in this case, what we're seeing is just pure domination by the defense. I think it started with the scouting report. They got into what they were doing offensively, into their mindset, and now they're beating them to the punch on every snap.
Throwing on first down, Jones. Hunter Henry brings it in. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. On first down, Jones. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And this is taken in at the 5. Touchdown, Patriots.
Tyquan Thornton.
47 yards.
And the Patriots get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit.
Extra point right down the middle as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Out of the end zone, here comes Hines. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that.
And now here is another interception. Picked up by Jonathan Jones.
And the Pats are going to have it here at their own 15.
If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Jones. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Throwing Jones. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. A big play there for New England. And even 60 yards. Back to throw. Jones. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. Point after, right down the middle, as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Out of the end zone, here comes Hines.
Oh, a good return up past the 30. He's at the 40, past the 20, and he will score. Touchdown, Colts. It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's gone.
Man, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
So now the other return teams out there, as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Pats at the line, ready to go.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnelled. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Desperation time now. Here's Jones.
He's going to let it fly. And my goodness, another interception. The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field.
And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
That's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward. He's got a man complete. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. And this is going to be intercepted. And the Colts are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. He'll let this go for the end zone. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Well, when they said before the game that they were going to try and execute every second of this contest, I guess that was taken literally, because here they are in the final moments of the fourth, putting another touchdown on the board, Charles, to add to this big lead.
I'm not a big believer in 110%, but it certainly applies here, doesn't it? Because some guys just can't go with less. As long as there's time left on the clock, they're pushing to get to the end zone one more time. They don't really care about what the optics show. They just want to finish the game off the way that they like to play it. Full speed, all out.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. The Pats at the line, ready to go. Well, this is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now
he's got a man complete. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. Well, that frustration, Charles, it's been building on the defensive side of the ball, and unfortunately there, it turns into a roughing the passer penalty.
Yeah, and they should be frustrated because he's picked them apart the entire game, but it's got to come out in a different way. You can't hit him illegally.
And oh, it'll be intercepted. And the Colts come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. Charles, not only the blowout